Welcome to this week's episode. Today we're going to look at the topic of pension freedoms and some of my insights and thoughts around this important subject, including the decisions about how to access your pension pots. The secret to happiness is freedom, wrote the ancient Greek historian Thucydides. And with the introduction of the pension freedoms rules for those aged over 55, now have far greater freedom of choice over how they use their pension pots to fund their retirement years. When pension freedoms commenced during the tax year 2014-15, it dramatically changed the pensions landscape, and how people can now access their retirement income is substantially different from previous generations. Pension freedoms have made it much easier for people to access their pension pots, and as a result, some may think they can do this for themselves. Little knowledge and understanding of pension freedoms have put a greater onus on people to keep themselves informed of their options when it comes to accessing their pension money. However, little knowledge and understanding of the rules could mean some people risking making decisions that are not best for them. For people in the 40s and 50s, understanding retirement savings is especially critical. Pension freedoms now give savers full access to their retirement savings from the age of 55. The reforms have given over 55s greater power over how they spend, save or invest their retirement pots. These rules leave retirees with different options. You can now take your entire pension pot as cash in one go if you wish. However, if you do this, you could end up with a large income tax bill and run out of money in retirement. So it's essential to obtain professional advice before you make any major decisions about how to access your pension pots. Deciding what to do with your pension pot is one of the most important decisions you will make for your future. And now you can access your pension in more ways than ever before. This leaves retirees with different options, from withdrawing lump sums in cash as and when needed, to stay in invested and drawing income, or to use that money how and when they wish. It is still possible to opt for the traditional route of buying an annuity, offering a guaranteed income. Half of Britons aged 55 or over admit that they know little about pension freedom rules that was introduced back in April 2015. And according to new research from Standard Life, a further 10% of over 55s say they know nothing about the changes, which represented a complete shake-up of the UK pension systems 5 years ago. We also need to consider your personal financial landscape. So from 6th of April 2015, new freedoms included removing the need to buy an annuity to provide income until you die, giving access to invest and drawdown schemes previously restricted to wealthier savings, and the removal of the 55% death tax on pension pots that was left invested. Since its introduction, more than 35 million have been withdrawn by 1.4 million individuals through pension freedoms, according to HMRC. So pension freedoms are being used by many people in the UK. And as well as understanding the various options for accessing benefits, when you are deciding what to do with your pension pot, you also need to consider your personal financial landscape. How long do you expect your investments and pensions to remain invested for? What do you want to achieve in the future? And how do you see your retirement playing out? How much investment risk are you willing to take? And what income sources do you currently have or need to create, and how they are taxed? There are many new people reaching pension freedoms age. The pension freedoms changes apply to people with defined contribution pension schemes, which takes contributions from both employer and employee and invests them to provide a pot of money at retirement. They don't apply to final salary or defined benefit pensions, which provides a guaranteed income after retirement. And the number of new people reaching pension freedoms age will reach a peak in 2020, according to new analysis that has been revealed. According to the latest research, it is estimated that the next 6 years will see consistently high numbers of people turning 55. Should the minimum pension age stay at 55 for the foreseeable future? Another point, what are your pensions freedom retirement options to consider? Well, there are a number of different options when you are deciding how to take your defined contribution pot. Leaving your pension pot untouched for now and take the money later is one option. And it's up to you when you take your money. You might have reached the normal retirement date under the scheme or received a pack from your pension provider, but that doesn't mean you have to take your money now. If you delay taking your pension until a later date, your pot continues to grow tax-free, potentially providing more income once you access it. If you do not take your money, we can check the investments and charges under the contract. Another point, receiving a guaranteed income or annuity. You can use your whole pension pot or part of it to buy an annuity. It typically gives you a regular and guaranteed income. You can normally withdraw up to a quarter of your pot as a tax-free lump sum, then convert the rest into an annuity, providing a taxable income for life. Some older policies may allow you to take more than 25% as a tax-free cash. We can review this with your pension provider. There are different lifetime annuity options and features to choose from that affect how much income you can get. Next point is to receive an adjustable income, what we call flexi access drawdown. With this option, you can normally take up to a quarter of your pension pot or the amount you allocate for drawdown as a tax-free lump sum. Then you can reinvest the rest into funds designed to provide you with a regular income. You set the income that you want, though this might be adjusted periodically depending on the performance of your investments and your needs. And unlike with a lifetime annuity, your income isn't guaranteed for life. So you need to manage your investments carefully. Next point. Take cash in lump sums. How much your money you can take and when is up to you. You are in control. You can use your existing pension pot to take cash as and when you need it and leave the rest untouched, where it will continue to grow tax-free. For each cash withdrawal, normally the first 25% is tax-free and the rest counts as taxable income. There might be charges each time you take a cash withdrawal and or limits on how many withdrawals that you can make each year. There are also tax implications that you need to be mindful of. The next point is cash in your whole pot in one go. You can do this, yes, but there are important things that you need to think about. There are clear tax implications if you withdraw all of your money from a pension. Taking your whole pot as cash could mean you end up with a large tax bill. And for most people, it will be more tax efficient to use one or the other options. Cashing in your pension pot will also not give you a secure retirement income. Another point is mixing your options. You don't have to choose one option. Instead, you can mix them over time or over your total pot when deciding how to access your pension. You can mix and match as you like and take cash and income at different times to suit your needs. You can also keep saving into a pension if you wish and get tax-free right up to the age of 75. Another point is retirement savings intended for your later life. Estimates show that 941,000 people will turn 55 in 2020, more individuals than any other age in the UK. Population estimates over the next 6 years also show that those approaching the age of 55 will consistently total above 900,000. The coronavirus crisis has thrown some of the nation's retirement plans up in the air, but the full impact will depend on where your pension is invested. And for those aged 55 and over, even though it is positive that people have the option to use retirement savings intended for later life earlier to reflect their situation, just because you can access your pensions early, it doesn't mean that you should. So careful considering needs to be around that issue. Next point to consider, accessing pension funds earlier than planned. The result of the COVID pandemic may see a significant number of individuals accessing pension funds earlier than they planned, with others thinking about this at the same time. While this may alleviate short-term financial pressures, it leaves less of a retirement fund to provide an income throughout what can be decades of retirement. It isn't uncommon for people to have 30 years or more in retirement, so we need to be mindful of this as well. Taking larger amounts out of pensions can also mean paying more income tax, and it may be better to consider alternative options. It's always important to think ahead to retirement and plan for the future, and even more so as we face up to the coronavirus crisis. Don't rush into life-changing financial decisions lightly. Do your research, and to make an informed decision about what's best for you, then please speak to an expert, because this is a life-changing decision, and I'm always happy to help anybody who needs this guidance. That's it for this week's episode. Join me next week to look at taking small cash sums from your pension pots and what that means in relation to your retirement planning. And don't forget to drop me a message for the topics you want covered next time.